Thanks a lot, Simi. You're with Up South with me, T.S. Sudhir, the show where you get to know all that happened in South India today. We continue to keep our focus on the issue of rampant child labor in the old city area of Hyderabad. In fact, the next time that you buy bangles at the Bangle street in the lane adjacent to the Charminar, remember that it's quite likely that the hands of a 7-year-old or a 9-year-old would have worked on making those bangles, and these child laborers would have come from Bihar. There are at least 10,000 child laborers working on bangles in the old city area of Hyderabad. That's an unofficial estimate for people who are actually working in this area. But the bangle sellers we found are in denial mode.
If the Charminar could weep, it would. The 424-year-old monument, however, can only stand as a mute witness to how thousands of children kill their childhood to make these Hyderabadi bangles, whose glitter hides the child labor that has gone into making it.
That children are used in the manufacture of these bangles is a dark and open secret in the city of the Charminar. But after the raids, these bangle sellers are in denial mode about the use of child labor.
Mujib Bangles is the oldest bangle shop on the street, established in the 1950s. Owner Mohammad Kausar denies he employs children to make bangles.
बिहार के बच्चों को यूज करते हैं। आप तो जानते हैं 60 साल से आप यहाँ की दुकान चला रहे हैं, तो आपको तो मालूम होगा कि क्या बच्चों को इस्तेमाल किया जाता है चूड़ियां बनाने में।
बिल्कुल किया जाता है, लेकिन हम लोग में नहीं किया जाता है। वो बाहर जो बनाते हैं वो अलग से दूसरे मकाम पर जाके चूड़ी बिकते हैं।
Some others put the entire blame on the agents who sell bangles to them without revealing children used to make them.
माल लेके आते हैं, थैली में भर के लेके आते हैं, वो लेके आके हमको सैंपल बताते हैं, ये आपको चलता क्या सेट?
आपको मालूम नहीं है कि उसमें बच्चों का इस्तेमाल हुआ है? नहीं
मालूम। अभी हम लोग को रेट पड़ा ना, जब मालूम हुआ कि बच्चे ज्यादा यूज हो रहे हैं, इसीलिए पूरी मार्केट में बैन कर दिए। कोई इनसे माल नहीं खरीद रहा है अभी फिलहाल।
प्यारियां जो बच्चे हो रहे थे ना 8 साल 10 साल, उन लोगों को क्या दे रहे थे बोल के तनख्वाह? 18 घंटे काम लेके 1500 रुपये 2000 रुपये महीने को तनख्वाह दे रहे थे। बोल लो कि उम्र पढ़ने लिखने की, और इसके हिसाब से वो केमिकल का जो काम रहता है उसके ऊपर स्क्रीन खराब हो जाएगी, फेफड़े वेफड़े सड़ जाएंगे।
This milestone indicating Hyderabad Zero stands at the spot where the old city area starts. The revelation that the old city is home to 10,000 child laborers is a blot that indeed reduced the city to a zero. With T.S. Sudhir in Hyderabad, Bureau Report, Headlines Today.
Joining me now from Hyderabad is Dr. Shanta Sinha, former chairperson of the National Commission for Protection of Child Rights, also human rights activist L. Ravichandra joining us from Hyderabad. Dr. Shanta Sinha, the Hyderabad police has done a commendable job so far, but perhaps the rescue was the easier part of the job because the rehabilitation process is going to be far more tough.
Now, let me first of all tell you, even rescue is not an easy job, and I'm glad that the police and the Labour Department have put their act together. And rehabilitation, of course, is a Herculean task. I believe that one should not stop from rescuing because rehabilitation does not happen. It's only by putting pressure and having interstate meetings between Bihar government and Andhra Pradesh, or the Telangana government, that the issue of rehabilitation would be resolved. The union government has to play a very strong role on this. I heard that Mr. Dattatreya, who is a union minister for labour, issuing a statement that they will look at rehabilitation and they will look at convening interstate meetings.
Right. What is shocking, Ravichandra, is that 80 of the 330 children who have been rescued by the Hyderabad police so far in the last 2 weeks were actually rescued even in May last year. So obviously all of them were re-trafficked, and that points to a huge hole in this entire rehabilitation process.
Firstly, Sudhir, is there a rehabilitation process in place? I have always believed that these kind of raids are incomplete if we do not have a serious rehabilitation process in place. Let's not forget that today we have a Right to Education Act in the country which makes it compulsory for the government to ensure that education is given to all these children. So where are they leaking from? It obviously shows that the system is either recycling these people for the convenience of numbers, or factually these people go back to where they came from, tragically because the system permits them or does not give them a rehabilitative source by which they can go back to education, stay in schools or hostels where their education is guaranteed. This doesn't happen, and that is why you'll find the same names over and over again.
Right. Dr. Shantasena, the entire Bangle making unit in the old city area of Hyderabad actually thrives on child labor. I'm told that there are nearly 10,000 of them in different lanes and by-lanes of the old city area of Hyderabad. So obviously there is a vested interest in keeping them there.
Absolutely. I think when I began working in the old city, there were children who were from Hyderabad city alone who were working there, not children who are migrated from Bihar, Orissa or Jharkhand, and now there is such a huge demand for Hyderabadi bangles. There are many more children who are coming in. The only way to prevent the cycle is to first of all do a prevention. Children must not be coming from Bihar, and even in Hyderabad city there has to be a prevention. Children will have to enjoy their right to education. The entire system has to gear up for this. I wonder if the country is really aware or cares for its children and their right to education. It's time that there is a national consciousness, there's a civil society pressure on the government, and the government also should respond to such a pressure, and they must not be lackadaisical. They have to think of children and their rights, and they have to act immediately on the matter.
Right. Mr. Ravichandar, most of these children come from a background of abject poverty. Do you see that the government, which on one hand advocates universal education, having abdicated its responsibility as far as these children go? Just to give you a piece of statistic, some 4,000 children are actually taken away from different districts of Bihar by agents for child labor every month to states like Bengal, to the south and to Mumbai.
Oh, I'm not a tad surprised. I think governments today are more concerned about building statues, building new structures, shifting offices, renaming roads, rather than having education for children. I think this is a national shame. I think this is a huge human right violation. If you believe in the heart of a city capital, you have about 4,000. Why even if you have 10 children involved in child labor in a city and they are being brought from another city, it's a pathetic condition of government failure. It shows that our government is either insensitive or is in connivance with an evil of such large magnitude.
Being an Ajit fan, any Ajit movie is a big celebration. It's as big as Diwali or a Pongal for me personally. This is the first time Ajit is getting associated with Gautam Menon, and this is the first time that Haris Jayaraj is scoring music for an Ajit movie. So the music, the songs are already topping the chart, and I mean, I expect nothing less than a blockbuster in this movie.
It's Gautam Menon and Ajit. Generally, Gautam Menon's movies have beautiful visuals and stuff like that. So when there's Ajit in them, obviously you'll expect a beautiful movie, right? You know, your eyes will have a good experience, something like that.
The film's trailer got a great response with over 4 million views in less than a week. Director Gautam Menon pairing with Ajit for the first time has generated a lot of buzz, given that Menon is known for his unique style.
There's huge hype around N.A. Arundhal because Ajit is coming and working with Mr. Gautam Menon. Gautam Menon is one director who has got the multiplex audiences in his hands. And there's a lot of expectation because I think Ajit is known as a massy star.
Joining me now from Chennai on Up South is director Gautam Vasudev Menon. Gautam, thanks a lot for joining us on Up South. This is the first time you and Ajit are working together, and this is also Ajit's 55th film. So what can your fans expect from this movie?
I keep saying this, but I'm saying fans should come to the theatre without any expectations because that takes the pressure off me. I just want them to come to the theatre and watch a good film. I think it's a good film. Ajit is in a very different, Ajit in a very different light in this film, and with lots of shades that he plays in the film. There's a lot of, there's an emotional journey that Ajit is in this film. So I'm hoping the audience just comes in without any expectation, just watch a good film.
Right. Gautam, your movies are known to showcase women in pretty meaty roles, and this has both Trisha and Anushka in the film along with Ajit. So, given the fact that this is a cop film, how difficult, how tough was it to keep the spotlight also on the women while also giving space to the male protagonist?
But given that it's a cop film is not what I'm saying. You'll have to come to the theatre to find out if it's a cop film or not. But I think with every film, especially when I write the script, automatically, very subconsciously, I should say, without making a big effort about it, there are women in the screenplay and they play a very important role in the protagonist's life. And sometimes the story could be about the women itself. So likewise in this film, even after Trisha moves away from the screen, at some point in the screenplay, there's a tremendous presence, that you'll feel of Trisha throughout the film. And Anushka, of course, represents the present day portion of Ajit, the character that Ajit plays in the film. And
right.
Yeah, so both roles are equally important, and it was wonderful working with the two of them. Yeah.
Right. Gautam, many are talking of this film as the third film of the trilogy, of the cop trilogy. Your earlier two cop films with Surya and Kamal Haasan were trendsetters, almost cult films now. Did that put extra pressure on you that you had to come up with something new in this film with Ajit?
See, I worked for the script and for the screenplay. I gave it what the screenplay deserves. I also had an actor who, despite being a superstar, kept telling me, do not tweak anything to suit my image. Do not add a line just to suit my image and stuff like that. I know various occasions where I did indulge a bit, and he would ask me, would this line be there if somebody else was playing the character? I said, no, this is specially written for you. He said, then let's not do that. You don't do that in your films normally, so why do that now? So I had somebody who took away all the pressure of what the fans might want and then mass image and stuff like that, and he completely understood the script and wanted to be within the script. So I'm actually very grateful that Mr. Ajit helped me along that route.
Right, Gautam Vasudev Menon, thanks a lot for those very interesting details into the movie, which is also Ajit's 55th film. We would look forward to seeing the movie. Thanks a lot for joining us on Up South on Headlines Today. That's it then. On this edition, news and updates will continue on Headlines Today.